What's going on, guys? Aero here, and guys, unless you've been living under a rock for the past few days, then you know that Nintendo finally revealed their next generation system, the Nintendo Switch. And now, I already made a video about this the day it was revealed, giving you guys my initial thoughts on how I feel about the system, but since then, we've actually got some more news that has come out about the Nintendo Switch, giving us a better feel of how the system might work, and what we might have to expect from it. And so I'm going to be talking about all of that new news in this video and giving you guys my thoughts on that, as well as just giving you guys my thoughts on some popular questions that people are having about the Nintendo Switch as well, and what I think about it. Now, for those questions, obviously we don't have an answer or anything like that from Nintendo themselves, but we'll just have to wait, but I'll be giving you guys my thoughts on how I feel about it. So the first bit of news that I want to talk with you guys about is that we actually have confirmation pretty much that we're not going to be getting any type of Nintendo Switch announcements or any type of more news about it this year. That this trailer, this preview trailer that we got on the YouTube channel is all we're getting for the system this year. We're not getting any more news on this system until 2017. And well, I mean, I was sort of upset, and I sort of talked about this in my other video where I was like, I hope that Nintendo doesn't just go silent after this trailer. And it looks like that is what they're planning on doing, but this trailer was pretty big. I mean, even though it was only 3 minutes, I felt like it was 3 minutes to give us what we needed for this year. I mean, there's still so much more that we need to know about the system. We don't even know anything about the user interface or the software or how this works. We just saw a few games and just saw how the system's gonna work out, and the functionality of it, being able to turn from a handheld to a console. We didn't see anything on the software or anything like that. And so while there's still so many things that are left to be answered, I still think that this is fine, because we got this revealed pretty much towards the end of the year. I mean, it's sort of mid-October right now. It's the end of October, and we got this system officially revealed to us finally. I think that it's fine if we don't get any more news on it until next year. I can understand that, because Nintendo, they still need to show us, or actually they still need to make more sales on their current things that they have, and they still need to have a core holiday shopping season this year. And even though there's not that many things that are big for Nintendo this year to have a good holiday season, I still think it's important for them to try to get as much sales and stuff as they can, especially with that NES thing that's coming out this year. They also have to get strong sales on their current consoles they have, like the 3DS and the Wii U. Now, for the 3DS, I don't think that that's going to be that big of an issue, because Pokemon Sun and Moon are going to be coming out next month, and those are pretty much two of the most popular games on a handheld for Nintendo, so they wouldn't really need to worry that much about their 3DS. But as for the Wii U, they don't have that many big games that have come out this year. I mean, I think the only game I bought for my Wii U this year was Pokken Tournament. I don't think I even bought anything else for it. So, I don't think they have that much for this year, but they should still try to get as many Wii U sales as they can. Making more bundles, maybe reducing the price a little bit. Whatever they could do to get some Wii U sales, I think that that's fine. And so, yeah, I think if we don't get any more information about the system or about Nintendo Switch until next year, I think that that's alright. But the next amount of news and the next amount of official information by Nintendo better be pretty fast, because if it's coming out in March, they don't have that much time. I mean, 2017 is going to start in a few months. I feel it's going to come really fast, and Nintendo better be ready to have information on the Nintendo Switch. It has to have, they better have information on the first or second week, maybe, because they don't have that much time until when March is going to come around and the system's already going to be launching. So hopefully they can have some more information. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. It looks like we're not going to get any more information on the Switch this year, which is alright for me. I mean, I'm a big Pokemon fan, as you guys already know, so obviously when Pokemon Sun and Moon are going to come out, I'm just going to be playing that game for so long that, it's going to feel like March just came around really fast, because I'm going to be so into playing Pokemon Sun and Moon that, I'm not even going to realize how fast the time is going by. So I know it's not going to be that big of a problem for me. I'm not going to be dreading the wait for this system to come out. But yeah, next thing I want to talk with you guys about is another news announcement, or another batch of news on the Nintendo Switch, and it's actually about what the controllers are going to be like, and what's going to come with the system. And so apparently we have some information from this person right here, who is apparently a Wall Street Journal artist, or he's a journalist for the Wall Street Journal, and he was talking about how the Nintendo, how Nintendo gave him some news on it, and that it's going to be talking about how the Nintendo Switch is actually going to be coming the Nintendo Switch is going to be coming with the JoyCon controllers, which you guys know are like those two like little side controllers, like, you know, it looks like the sides of a Wii U gamepad, you know, those things that like hook onto the sides of the tablet. So it says that it's going to be coming with that. It's going to be coming with the tablet itself, obviously, and then it's going to be coming with that dock station, which you know use to hook it up to your TV. Now it says that the thing that is kind of weird about this is that it says that the Joy-Con grip is still undecided on whether it's going to come with the system. And I'll put a picture of the Joy-Con grip because with all those new controller configurations and stuff, I understand how it's confusing for some of you guys to see what I'm talking about. So the Joy-Con grip is basically like that part where you saw in the beginning when he was playing Zelda in the trailer, where like he had that like square-like controller with him with the two ends of the Wii U, or with like the two Joy-Con controllers put together and that like flat piece in the middle. That's basically what I was talking about. And you know, apparently this person is saying that it's still undecided on whether it's going to be officially included with the Nintendo Switch like in the box, or whether you're going to have to buy it separately. And I think that this should be included. I think that it's sort of like the, you know, primary way of on how you're gonna play it at home, because like, you know, on the go you can just take those Joy-Con controllers, put them onto the side of the tablet and go. But at home, if you don't have that Joy-Con grip, then you know the only way you can play them is by just using those Joy-Cons, like, you know, in your hand, like in one hand and on the other hand. Like, I don't think that that's a right way to play it on a TV. I think you should definitely have a grip. So I don't know how I feel about that, but then again, I think this could be just Nintendo's way of trying to reduce the price for the system, because, you know, obviously they don't want to increase the price for the Nintendo Switch so high that it makes it too expensive for people to purchase. And so yeah. And now, speaking of price, that's actually something that I really wanted to talk with you guys about real quick, is because that is one of those questions that I have about the system. You know, Nintendo hasn't officially told us how much the system is going to cost, but, you know, I'm really curious to see, because, you know, either way, I already told you guys I'm going to be buying the system no matter what, but I do want to see how much it's going to cost, because price plays a big role in how well a system goes. Because, you know, if the system is pretty affordable and it looks like it's going to be a good system, people are going to buy it. But if it's like a $400 system and it doesn't look that good, then, you know, you're not going to be getting a lot of sales. And now, one of the most credible, like, you know, sources of information we've had for this entire Nintendo Switch hype is someone named Emily Rogers, and I'm sure you guys already know about who I'm talking about. And so obviously, you know, she's a big person in the hype train, or like, you know, getting inside information. And now she actually predicted that the Nintendo Switch was probably going to cost around $250. And now I'm not saying that this is actual confirmation, because she herself says it in her tweet that it's not like inside information, she's just speculating. And I think $250 would be the ideal price for this system. I think it's perfect to have $250. I don't think that that's too much. But then again, if it does, you know, get up to like $300, I think that's fine. But really, above $300, I don't think it should go there. I think $300 should be like the maximum, and definitely $250 seems like a reasonable price to me. But yeah, you guys can let me know what you guys think is an affordable price for the Nintendo Switch. I think it's fine. You know, I think having $250 is perfect. You know, $300 I think is the best if they want to keep it at a reasonable price. But yeah. Alright, next thing I want to be talking with you guys about is how the Nintendo Switch's battery life is going to go, because this is one of the biggest questions about the Nintendo Switch. Like, obviously we've seen in this trailer that it's going to be an amazing system and it's got some really cool things, but what is the battery life going to be on this system? Like, you know, and apparently, like, it looks really cool, but I don't want to just be able to play, you know, like Breath of the Wild on my TV, then go outside and be only able to play it for like an hour before the battery runs out and stuff like that. And so apparently, according to some inside information, it talks about how the battery life on the Nintendo Switch is going to be mediocre, and that the battery life isn't going to be that good. And now it says that Ubisoft has apparently said that the maximum battery life is going to be 3 hours. And so I think that that's somewhat reasonable. I don't know how good that is, because, you know, like, having a good source of battery life is definitely something that is required on this system. You need to have a good amount of battery life if Nintendo is like pushing that to be one of the biggest selling points for the system, that you can play it on the go and you can play it, you know, at home. And so I think that that should be definitely something that Nintendo works on. Try to get as much battery life as you can. I'm sure there'll be some accessories that are like battery packs or something like that, where you can, you know, get more battery on it. But I think that that should definitely be a primary focus of it, you know, so that like if you're going on a road trip or like have a plane flight or something like that, you definitely do have enough battery to help you, you know, get through that ride and get through and still be able to play on your system. So that's definitely big. And so the last thing that I kind of wanted to talk with you guys about is that we also have news from Polygon, who was actually able to talk with Nintendo representatives, and they were able to confirm that the Nintendo Switch is going to be a single screen experience. And I think that that's perfect. I think that that's exactly what they should have done, and I think that that's great because, especially even though the Wii U was a really great system, I think that one of the biggest downsides for the Wii U for, third parties was just figuring out how to use that second screen because, every single gaming system, the Xbox One, the PS4, they all use one screen. You're just looking at the TV. And so it's not that hard for, developers to make a game for that. But then if you want to develop that game for the Wii U, they have to figure out how they can have, their primary focus of their game being shown on the TV, but then they have to have something else being shown on the gamepad at some time as well. And so that's really confusing for developers to work around and stuff. And so the fact that the Nintendo Switch is going to be a single screen experience gives me a lot of hope that it's going to be a really cool system and that it's going to be something that third parties are really going to like developing for. And I think that that's great because, I think a single screen experience is perfectly fine. I think it's something that Nintendo should do, and it looks really cool. And also, the last thing I want to talk about is just the backwards compatibility of this system. Now, we do see Mario Kart 8 apparently being shown on the system. We do see Splatoon being shown on it, but we don't know if these are going to be, if all Wii U games are going to be backwards compatible. Because we obviously do see the person in the trailer using game cartridges, so unless Nintendo is gonna be able to transport or convert every single Wii U title over to a game cartridge, I don't really see backwards compatibility happening on the system. But you guys can let me know how you feel on that. I think as long as they get the big titles like Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Bros, if they get Splatoon, Super Mario Maker, I think that they're fine. As long as they can get those big titles, they are fine. And then the next thing I want to talk about is just the durability of the system. Now, we know the system looks really unique by, being able to just slide out these controller parts and being able to attach them to certain things and just being able to change the way you game. But I really want to see how durable these controllers are going to be. If I'm using my Nintendo Switch for thousands and thousands of time, being able to switch from portable mode to handheld, portable mode to console mode, I better be able to, make sure that these parts aren't going to break, especially if they're the Joy-Cons and stuff, if they're delicate or the fasteners and things that they use can break easily. That's definitely going to be a big problem because, obviously if they're going to be expensive, no one wants to pay $40 continuously to get new and new Joy-Cons and stuff like that. So hopefully they're still going to be durable. Hopefully Nintendo can find a way like that. And yeah, that's pretty much all of the news that has come out for this system. And something that I actually didn't get to talk about in my video on the initial thoughts was that when we look at this trailer, we see a single person pretty much most of the time. We see people that are, just casual young adults playing the system. And I think that that's one of the biggest things that's going to make this system a very popular one. They don't show us families or kids gaming on it. They don't show us kids having a good time and anything. They show us young adults playing it, and I think that that's what they really need to do. They should really not go for the whole family friendly experience, but just more to the young adults and have a hardcore gaming experience, because I think that that's definitely going to help it out. And if they see young adults are playing it, kids are going to get it anyway. I think it's just necessary to have that, and I think that that's really cool. And yeah, I just can't wait for this system to come out. We definitely did get a lot of news here, so definitely if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to click that like button. It really does help me out. If you're hyped for the system and you have some thoughts on what you think of all the news that I was talking about today, definitely comment your thoughts down below. I'll be happy to reply to you and see what you have to say. And as always, if you guys are hyped for Nintendo Switch, hyped for Pokemon Sun and Moon, and just want more Nintendo content on this channel, be sure to subscribe. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.